Hello, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I always start out with that. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? It's so cool to see you all in here. I guess first off, I want to know how everybody is doing throughout all this madness. We have entered into unfamiliar territory for, this is stuff we've never seen our whole lives. We're literally living inside one of those end of world movies. Now, hopefully it's not the end of the world, but the future is still unknown, and I like just spending time with you guys. That's a big thing. Hanging with you guys and talking horror. And I am a big superhero guy too. I don't really get a chance to talk about superheroes that much on my channel. I mean, I guess I have the power. I guess I could, but I don't know. I kind of stay in the safe lane, I guess. So I figured, you know what? I saw like John Campea was talking about the Hulk today, and there was like no news, that we're basically not getting a Hulk movie anytime soon. And Hulk is my guy. I'm a Hulk fanatic. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll do some talking about maybe the Hulk and comic book guy. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys like comic book movies. So anyway, yeah, I'm hoping you guys are doing great. I got a couple things planned that I want to show you. I want to kind of go back and talk about my experience, my first encounter with a superheroes and what got me into the Hulk. But first, I'm going to give you guys some shout-outs. All right, cool. I'm taking it you guys can hear me, okay? Because I'm sure you would tell me by now if you couldn't hear me. So first off, I was going to say, Crown the Empire, thank you so much, man. That was really nice. Haley, hope you're safe. I got kicked out of work for a week, so I'm enjoying the vacation. Hope everyone is safe. Killerflix family. Yeah. And Killerflix is actually going to be a part of this too, because I posed a question on Killerflix about what superhero would you like to see combined with a horror, even like a franchise. I think my voice cracked. But just to give you a sneak peek, I'll show you like an example over here. Opening up my OBS. And boom, there's Killerflix. And I got my little window right there. And you can see, I changed the cover photo today. One of the guys in Killerflix, he posted this picture. And I fell in love with it. Because, fuck off Wade, that's just a huge part of Killerflix. I think thanks to a couple people, Michael Mims, Cody Archer, and I love Wade. Wade has my heart. So, I mean, we ended up making a freaking t-shirt. Thanks to Barry from Wolfman's Got Nards for helping out with the design on it. But, yeah, Wade's the best. But isn't this great? It's your game now, Wade. Fuck off. That's a producer's cut reference. Let me go back here. And if I scroll down... I took you guys off there. Hold on. Let me scroll back down. Hold on. All over the place. And if I scroll down here, yeah, here it is. Here's my question. I said, okay, I'm about to go live in 5. Give me some superheroes you'd love to see in a horror setting. And if you have a particular setting franchise you'd like to see them in. And add to it, like example, Daredevil in a Friday the 13th movie. I don't know why I said that. It just popped in my head. I would still watch it. But... And I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of these just to give you guys a sneak peek. Oh, we already got... Oh, my God, they're already flowing in. Holy crap. Oh, Jesus. I'll read a couple, and then we'll go back to them, okay? Kevin Croston says Hawkeye in a Jeepers Creepers movie. That could be fun, because Jeepers Creepers is kind of a horror villain that has a superpower. Does he really have a superpower? I mean, he's a creature, I don't know if he has super strength. Does the creeper have super strength? That I'm not sure of. Jeremy Holloman says Batman in A Nightmare on Elm Street. Ooh, that would be badass, actually. What if Batman actually had nightmares about Freddy Krueger? And I don't know how that would happen. Like, what if Batman was one of the children that Freddy got a hold of? Because timelines don't really matter, right? Oh my God, that sounds really interesting. Because Batman always has like the best stories. And of the horror big three, as much as I love Halloween, I think Nightmare has the more creative stories. So if you put those two together, I think that'd be awesome. Luke Mazur. This is one more, and then I'm going to go back to you guys, and then we'll come back to this later. He says, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Chud. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Chud or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I can't offer anything of value to that. And I don't want to make something up. All right, I'm going to read this because I see Rated R Hulk. I have to read that. Josh, 4Killer. He says, Rated R Hulk, where they keep him in the dark most of the movie, and he's just ripping arms off, smashing heads, and it's very gory and dark. And that's kind of the reason why I ended up doing this stream. Just because I'm such a Hulk fanatic, and if there's any character that begs for a horror setting, there's even been like articles on this, it's the Hulk. So, I see a couple super chats coming in too. Let me go back up here. CJ Kid 1231 $10. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. If some company had to start a slasher universe with the icons we know, which horror icons starts the universe off with the first film? Well, I mean, do I want Halloween to be saved for last, though? That's the question. And I think it would be kind of cool to see Freddy actually start it off, because Freddy can talk. So Freddy can be our guide and lead us into this slasher universe. And then, through Freddy, we introduce Michael and Jason, and hell, freaking bring in Pinhead. You know what? That'd be awesome. I'd love to watch that. If you get some good scriptwriters on there, I mean, they did it with the MCU. Why not do it in horror too, right? I don't know. But yeah, I like that idea. Thank you, CJ Kid. Going back up here real quick. Let me read. Okay, Tony Movie Chappie D9 Neil Blomkamp #1 fan. I gotta come up with a way to shorten that name. But I want to keep Neil Blomkamp in there, so I'm just gonna call him Neil Blomkamp #1 fan, or just better yet, Blomkamp #1 fan. I think that's what I'll do. Michaela Snow, how are you doing? Mikey Weiss, what's up, brother? Did you lift any weights today? I know I say that every freaking time, but I mean, if we could all just look as good as you, right? We'd be doing something right. Because man, you kick ass. You really do. Troy, Low Carb Monster, what's up, brother? James Reamer, how you doing? Robert Bradley, it's been like a real life horror movie. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Jesse Tribble, David Catone, Bandonix, a live action adaptation of Death of the Family would be awesome. Now, Death of the Family, you'll have to click, because I'm not a comic reader, but I am a comic watcher. I do love comic book movies for some reason. I don't know why I never got into reading them when I was in grade school. But Thomas Woodcock, nice to see you again, Lee. Great film. First, although I do like the Hitcher remake. But anyway, great to see you. I was actually talking to Drewski, Andrew Becker, and we were talking about the Hitcher, and because he sent me a message, he was like, I can't believe you put the Hitcher on that list, my worst remakes list. And I said, well, in all fairness, I watched the movie once when it first came out, and I'm such a fanatic of the original Hitcher with Rutger Hauer that maybe I was a little bit too hard on it, but it's just hard for me to compare. But it might be a good movie on its own. But I told him what I would do is I'll eventually review the movie, and he can review the movie, and we'll both like promote each other's reviews, and we'll put them out at the same time. I think that would be kind of fun, because he's a big fan of that remake, and I really don't remember much of it. I remember it being very much like the original, and that kind of bothered me. And it's a shame too, because Sean Bean is such an awesome actor. So, I mean, it's funny too how I'm all over the place, guys. It's funny how, like, in Lord of the Rings now, the character Boromir, it seems like as time goes by, he gets more and more popular. Like, people love Boromir now, Whereas he was kind of seen as, I guess, the Judas when the movies first came out. And he was kind of that. But when you kind of dig into his character a little bit more, you see that he was just trying to do the right thing for Gondor, his country. And so his country saw him as a hero. And he thought, with the ring, I could actually do some good. So, and in what's great though is like in the end of Fellowship of the Ring, he ends up giving his life, taking 3 arrows to the chest to save the hobbits. So in the end, he redeemed himself. But it's funny, like now, everybody loves Boromir to death. Okay, going down here now. I see another super chat. Daredevil versus Freddy, Fear versus Man Without Fear. Ooh, I like that. That sounds kind of cool. That might be even more. Thank you, CJ Kidd. That might be even more interesting than Batman in there. And I haven't said this yet, but Daredevil is probably my second favorite comic book character behind the Hulk. And if I'm being honest with myself, I think Daredevil's more interesting than the Hulk. But I just love the rage aspect of the Hulk and how this human guy who's just like me and you, this rage takes over and he has no control over it. He becomes the Hulk, at least that version of the story. And I'm going to share something with you guys here in a minute. But I'm trying to catch up with a lot of you beautiful people in here. Another super chat from CJ Kidd. What if the Cenobites took Wanda away, and so Spawn goes to the Cenobites' hell to take out Pinhead and Leviathan? Damn, where do you come up with these ideas, man? That's great. That's good stuff. Can you imagine that, seeing Spawn in like Hellraiser world and going at it with Pinhead? Damn, like that'd be bad. It's a shame that the Spawn movie didn't deliver. Like, like that artwork that you see in the comics, that McFarlane artwork is so amazing for Spawn. I don't mind the way he looks in the movie, but there's a lot of cheesiness in the movie too. So, Jesse Tribble says the Hulk versus Victor Crowley. The Hulk's gonna win that hands down. No issue whatsoever. He'll do like me and he'll have a Coke right after. He'll probably do his nails too, because that'll take him literally, I don't know, 30 seconds. That's good. That is good. David Catone says, he says hello, Holly. I say hello, Holly too. How you doing, Holly? Yes. Rob, Green Arrow, Spawn versus Freddy Krueger. Definitely. Spawn would be a good one to put in the horror world. I mean, he's kind of got a big toe in there anyway. James Richter, what's up, brother? He says, saw horror Trivial Pursuit game to be released later this year. We need to set up Drumdums teams to play this game live. I get asked that all the time. Are you a gamer? Do you play games? And I don't play games. I'd never play games. I just don't have time. I don't have a PS4. My son took the PS4 with him. I don't PC game. Really, I mean, you guys are my time. I go to work. I do a full-time job. And I spend time with my wife when I get a shot, and I do YouTube. I have no time. Okay. Flamethrower. Chris, what's up, brother? Nice to see you in here, man. How you doing? How you holding up? Freddy versus Deadpool, just to hear the trash. Oh my God. If you want a verbal throwdown, holy shit, that would be badass. I'm laughing just thinking about the throwbacks. Oh my God. I love that. Somebody please write that script. Let's see. Freddy is owned by Warner Brothers. Deadpool is owned by Disney right now. I can't believe I said that out loud. So, oh my God. They need to set up a Kickstarter for that, or an Indiegogo or whatever. And I think they would get as much money as they needed and then some. I think they would probably get $1 billion to make that movie, because I'm sure all of you would love to see that. That would be amazing. Holy crap. Ashanti Berry says, I've always thought about this one crazy movie where they put every famous known horror movie icon in the movie. That would be crazy. Hard to pull off, but it would be awesome to see. Kind of like what they kind of did that with Cabin in the Woods, except they did it legally. They couldn't say the actual names. But that's pretty much what they did in Cabin in the Woods. brilliantly too, by the way. Great freaking movie. Great freaking movie. Um, Shane Moser says Catwoman versus Jeepers Creepers. See a couple of mentions of Jeepers Creepers in here. Really cool. Now I don't want to spend too much time. I'm gonna be jumping back and forth with you guys. We're gonna have a good time tonight. All right. It's gonna be an AMA. It's gonna be all kinds of fun stuff. Troy said 30 seconds. You're being too generous. It's one punch. I mean, if the Hulk punches Victor Crowley, Santa Claus, it doesn't matter. Their face is gonna explode. He's gonna, like that picture in my background there where the Hulk's got like blood all over his fist. That got me excited just thinking about that. You know, there is like, and like I said, I'm not like a comic reader, but there is an issue of the comics where the Hulk fights Wolverine. I got a Wolverine shirt on right here, and I mean Hulk just completely obliterates and like rips him in half. And I know that from the image. I saw the image of it. I can't say I've read the comic, but give me that movie. Jesus, I would freaking love that, because Wolverine, he can come right back together, you know? So the fight can go on. Wolverine can piss him off. That's another guy that could like go toe to toe verbally, you know? Because if you say the wrong thing to Hulk, that can piss him off too. So, Beth, how are you doing? Nice to see you in here. Jack Conroy, you win the $5 prize. Rambo versus Jason. This is the movie that everybody would freaking... the first opening weekend, that movie would make $100 million. I'm calling it. If they had a really good script, they marketed it right, Rambo versus Jason, like the Jason in the remake, wow. Holy crap. That would be insane. It'd be bloody as hell too. Oh my God. Like, what franchise has more blood? Is it Rambo? I mean, hell, I could just say, is it Rambo 4? Or is it Friday the 13th? That's a toss-up. That's a toss-up. If Rambo had more movies, then they would probably give Friday the 13th a run for the money. And I would even say Rambo's probably killed more people just because of Rambo 4. Okay. Let me scroll down. CJ Kidd, another one. Thank you, man. Harley Quinn teams up with Tiffany from Child's Play and bond over their crazy quirkiness, take out and murder some mob boss for fun. Dude, you gotta write a book. Like, I mean, so far you're knocking them out of the park with every single one of them. Can you imagine Harley Quinn and Tiffany together? I was just talking about, like, you know, verbal insanity, verbal ice cream, because that's what it would be for us. It would be verbal ice cream. But I mean, Tiffany and Harley Quinn together, that would be great. She'd have to be in doll form, I think. What do you guys think? Does she need to be in doll form, or can she be in regular form? What's the actress's name? I always do this. Every time I do a stream, I draw a blank. Every freaking time. Jesus Christ. It'll come to me in a minute. In Psycho 2, Anthony Perkins was in that movie with Tilly. Meg Tilly. Jennifer Tilly. Okay, see how I worked it out? Sometimes I have to pluck the hamster, and I knock him over. He comes back up, he starts running, and then boom, it happens. So. Man, that's delicious. What are you guys eating and drinking? I know I always ask that question. If you're not eating or drinking, I'm going to put on something real quick. Actually, let me set this up for you. I'll kind of do a little bit of a commentary over it too. There is an episode of the Incredible Hulk TV series called The First. If you look on YouTube, type in The First, I probably have I know for a fact, I have the only review of that episode. There might be a clip. I don't know. There's not a clip from the episode. I'm about to show you a clip. I actually have the entire Incredible Hulk TV series ripped to video files on my computer. When I was deployed to Oman back in 2010, I was so bored that I would take those DVD box sets and rip each episode to my hard drive, probably 2 a night. So it took me quite a few weeks to finally get all of them downloaded. But I grabbed a clip from the first, and I'm going to show it to you. This is one of my earliest memories of being afraid. I saw this episode when I was probably, I want to say 9 years old, something like that. And the first thing, it's interesting to me, the first thing that really scared me as a child was a superhero. It wasn't, Jason Voorhees or a horror movie. The first thing that I remember, like full episode, something to watch, not a vision, because I've talked about that vision that I remember when I was really, really young. But this is like something I watched. So it was this episode. So anyway, I'm going to take you over, and I'm going to show you a scene from this episode that really scared the living crap out of me. It's 2 minutes long, okay? 2 minutes long, and I think it's worth it. Just to set up the scene. This is where the bad Hulk, he is changing. David Banner, his name was David, not Bruce in the show. David Banner is going the whole episode trying to prevent this guy from becoming the Hulk again. He was the Hulk before Bruce Banner. So anyway, here's that scene. I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, let me set that up. A lot of moving parts here, guys. A lot of moving parts. Yeah, here it is. Okay. And I'll even put my window there too so I can kind of talk to you about it while we're doing it. What'd you guys think of that? Do you think I have bad taste in TV shows? Let me go back up here. Hold on. Yeah, Hulk looks like Joker from Suicide Squad on crack. I can't wait to see some of your comments on this one. This Hulk is the best to me. I would rather watch this than any CGI Hulk any day. Yeah. My favorite show of all time. Hell yeah. So I just gave you guys a treat then. Because like I said, you're not going to see too much of that episode. I pretty much just played you like the most of that episode that's available on YouTube. My reviews on YouTube. That review, by the way, has 83,000 views. I can't even understand that. That's crazy. But it's just a testament to, it's not me, it's a testament to the love for that show and that I am the only one that literally has a video about it. That's why it's got 83,000 views. No reason whatsoever. It's crazy. But it brings back so many great memories, I mean, even before that, just Lou Ferrigno scared me. So by the time I saw that Hulk, I was just like, oh my God, that's the scariest thing. And I give Del Fry, it's called Fry's Creature. I give him credit for, I think, getting me really interested in horror movies, Just to read some of your comments here. Let's see, hold on. David Catone said, I watched Hulk TV show when I was younger. Michael Myers says, Abomination versus Hulk horror movie. Oh yeah, well they did that in the they did that in the Edward Norton movie. I love that movie, by the way, and I'm constantly defending it. The movie with Edward Norton, and I think the reason it's the bastard child of MCU is because MCU, they went a completely different direction in tone. The movie doesn't feel like it belongs in the MCU. And so it's almost like they talked you out of liking it. And it makes me wonder, like, if the MCU never happened and that movie came out and that was it, would it be accepted a little more? Because it's still, like, in my top 5 favorite MCU movies. I just enjoy the hell of it. It definitely helps that I'm a Hulk fan. I'm a Hulk fanatic, really. But, yeah. David Catone says, Schwarzenegger was too short to play Hulk he was offered. Yeah, Schwarzenegger was offered the role. And Schwarzenegger, I believe, said, I can't do it, but he introduced them to Lou Ferrigno. He recommended Lou Ferrigno. And Lou Ferrigno obviously got the part. And I think Ferrigno was perfect for the role, actually. And I like in that episode that I showed you that those two Hulks are completely different in mannerisms and attitude, physically. They're just completely different. Richard The name is Drumdums. I like that. Richard Kiel was Jaws and Bond. Yeah, Richard Kiel actually played the Hulk for a piece of a scene in the very first episode. Like, he had the job as the Hulk, and for some reason or another, then he wasn't the Hulk. You know, they ended up giving it to Lou Ferrigno. I think maybe he didn't look the part. Like Richard Kiel literally looked like Dick Durock did in that scene that I just showed you. He looked like the evil Hulk. And it's a good thing that they went with Lou Ferrigno because he looks more like what we see in the comics. You know, he's big, muscle-bound. So, yeah. Let me go up here. So Shane Moser says, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey versus Hulk. That may not end well. Rest in peace, Harley. Yeah, he talked himself out of it in that sentence. That was pretty awesome. Because, yeah, she'd be... it'd be fun to watch her clown around with him, but as soon as he, like... You know, it'd be like that scene in Sin City where Marv, he's got... what's his name? Jesus. Frodo. He's got Frodo, pretty much. And he says, let's see you hop around now. You know, get close, get personal. And then he, like, handcuffs him. Elijah Wood. And then as soon as he handcuffs him, that's it. And that's pretty much what would happen if the Hulk did that to Harley Quinn. Time Lord 007, what's up, man? He says, Lee, remember the Hulk 2 partner where Banner changes back mid-transformation? That scared me shitless. The two-parter, yeah, that's Prometheus, and I'm actually doing a review of Prometheus. I watched, because it's a two-parter, I watched the first part, and I still got to watch the second part. I already got my notes taken for it and everything, too. So, expect a review for Prometheus. That's probably my second favorite, best episode of the Hulk. Because, yeah, like he said, he changes, but... There's this meteor that comes to Earth, and David Banner gets close to the meteor, and it causes, because it's like full of gamma radiation, and so it causes this reaction. And so he becomes the Hulk, but then when he turns back to Bruce, he only goes halfway, you know? So he's like stuck in limbo, in Hulk limbo for a while there. It's a really good episode, actually. Blomkamp fan says Incredible Hulk is very underrated, and I never understood the hate for it. Love Edward Norton as the Hulk, and it's a shame that they never continued the story. Yeah, they set it right up. That's the thing too about the movie, is it had so many great Easter eggs from the MCU. You know, especially with the Captain America, the Super Soldier Serum, and all that stuff. Tony Stark coming in at the end. I mean, there were a lot of Easter eggs. They set it right up for the leader. The leader would have been an amazing villain. It's a shame. And a big part of that is because Hulk is owned by Universal. You know, I think if Marvel owned Hulk, then we would have had 2 or 3 Hulk movies. You know, I have no doubt in my mind. They would have cut down on the budget because Hulk movies just don't make as much as Iron Man movies. Funny enough. So, which is weird too, because I remember when Iron Man first came out, I was a big Iron Man fan growing up, you know, and I just loved the look of him, you know, and I always thought, man, it'd be cool if they make a movie about Iron Man, but there's no way this character's ever going to go that far. He's not Spider-Man, you know, he's not Superman, he's not Batman, he's just Iron Man. Not everybody knew about Iron Man, but then Robert Downey Jr. comes in, freaking knocks it out of the park, and now Iron Man's is every bit as big as all those other guys. It's interesting. Paul Green, Venom versus Alien. I was actually thinking about Alien and the Xenomorph, and if you put him with any superhero, because they do have super strength, they have the acid for blood, so I mean, it's set up for a pretty good match there, actually. I mean, hell, even against the Hulk, that acid will burn through the Hulk's skin. I'm almost positive it would. So that'd be a bloody battle. It really would. Andy E says, in defense of the portrayal of Hulk in the MCU, I think that Ruffalo and his Hulk fit the MCU movies. Darker versions would be more likely standalone movies like Joker. And you're right, Andy. Ruffalo, his Hulk fit perfectly. Now, the big problem, I think, is the first Avengers movie was still the best version of the Hulk, the Ruffalo Hulk. And it's almost like they didn't know what to do with the character after that. He does have some fun moments in the second movie, but it's like they have their fun fight with Iron Man, you know, the Hulkbuster Iron Man and Hulk. And then after that scene, it's like, okay, what do we do with this guy now? You know, we'll let him come in at the very end when they're fighting Ultron. But again, they did not know what the hell to do with the guy. And then in Avengers, in an Infinity War, an Endgame, I think they shit all over the Hulk. I really do. It pissed me off, but good. And at the end, I remember in Endgame, everybody's coming out of the theater rejoicing. The internet's rejoicing. This was the greatest superhero movie of all time. But you got Hulk fan over here, me, just pissed off. It hurt. And that end battle scene, as amazing as it is, when you see Thor and Iron Man and Captain America walking towards Thanos, what was missing? Because when I was watching that, I was like, isn't this supposed to be the original four going against Thanos? I mean, that's almost, it almost writes itself, you know? And Hulk was just over somewhere, like picking up a rock, helping somebody. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Let these three fight him. You know, he's gonna have his way with Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. And then who comes in to save the day? Hulk. Didn't happen. I think that would have been the most amazing thing. Still would have given everybody else the time to shine. Captain America would have still caught the hammer. All this great stuff would have happened. And then Hulk gets redemption. Because they set Hulk up for redemption in Infinity War. And I'm already getting pissed off. Not really, but it's kind of funny. Dino, what's up, brother? Nice to see you in here. Dude, these super chats. Jesus, you guys are fucking awesome. Alex H. Hey, I'm a respiratory therapist and fellow drummer. Awesome. Given my life lately, I'd personally love to see Dr. Bruce Banner handle the T-Virus, Resident Evil. Love your content and stay awesome. That would be actually... You know, that's the thing about the Hulk, too, is like, when the Hulk is in human form, I get excited about how intelligent Bruce Banner is. And, you know, when he's in the laboratory doing his thing, that's another thing about the character that I love, actually. Mixing that with Resident Evil and having Hulk try to find a way to get a cure for the T-Virus, and then it doesn't work. And so you're setting me right up, Alex, too, for this clip I'm about to show. So he's got the cure and everything. Doesn't work. All these zombies start coming towards Bruce Banner. And then he hulks out. How badass would that be? I'm getting chills just thinking about it. And let me go to get this next super chat. And I'm going to play you guys this next clip. Because Alex just set me right up for that. CJ Kidd, man. Thank you so much. Holy crap. Michael Myers ends up following a new family member, Tara Moore, to New York through the aid of Dr. Loomis to escape Myers. To help get Tara contacts an old friend. Wait, hold on. Let me read that again. To get help, Tara contacts an old friend about it, to which the Punisher agrees to help Dr. Loomis kill Myers free of charge. That's badass, actually. Like, having the Punisher go up against Myers. Now, here's the thing, too, with Myers. Like, you can shoot him all day and he still gets up. Punisher... He's a brawler, you know? I mean, you take his guns away from him, he can still fight. Like, especially like what John Bernthal did with him in the TV show. Wow. So, I think it's a good fight. I think it's anybody's fight to win if you have the Punisher going up against Myers. Myers gets the edge, though, because he has the super strength. I mean, you take that scene with, hell, just take Myers in Halloween 6. Call it a day. I think Myers would... unless the Punisher gets a hold of a freaking like a flamethrower, a rocket launcher, something like that. But if he's going toe to toe with Myers, even guns, that's not going to work against him. So I think he's a good, like, manageable opponent. Like, if you put Hulk against Myers, of course, that's stupid. But if you put the Punisher, you got a good movie on your hands. Let me go down here. Okay, I'm gonna set you guys up again. Hold on. I want to play this clip for you. In this clip, and I just love, and the reason I'm playing this clip for you is because I love Bill Bixby's acting in this scene. Like, it gets me, it tears me up almost. It's so good. So let me go over here. Hold on. Actually, let me pull this up. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Cheesy music and all. It's all going to be here. Okay, guys? Hold on. All right, here we go. So, David Banner has the cure, okay? He doesn't have it in his hand. The cure happens to be too far for him to get. And, of course, Fry's creature's right next to the cure, okay? That's all you need to know. Here we go. So I didn't even show you when he actually turns in. You'll have to watch it yourself. I don't mean to punish you guys, but that's what happens. You want to see more, don't you? Wasn't that great? I gotta go. Hold on. Let me go back to you guys. I want to see what you guys thought about that. Let me know what you thought about that. Yeah, right. Hey, right. This is breaking my heart. His performance. Oh my God. It's just so brutal. Like that, to me, as silly as it sounds, that is one of my favorite performances I think I've ever seen. And it's probably not as great as I'm making it out to be, but it's linked to my childhood, you know? So, and it will forever be that connection. But it gets me every time I watch it because I think it just takes me back to my childhood. And I just felt so bad because that's the fourth season. And, you know, you wanted Banner to find that cure so bad, you know, because it was just torturing him. And he had it in his hand. Before that, he had never had the cure in his hands. And it was there. And what happens? So sad. So freaking sad. But man, what a great performance. Jesus. And then they fight with each other. And the fight's kind of silly. But it's still, you know, it's great. Okay, Robert Bradley says, I was getting into that. Laugh out loud. Brings back memories. Love it. Yeah. Haley Wright says, very much so. I loved this show so much. Yeah, it was great. David Irwin says, hey Lee, big hello from Dublin, Ireland. That's awesome. This and the other part 2 episode, Prometheus, are my favorite episodes. Yeah, David, we were actually just talking about Prometheus probably like 10 minutes ago. I love Prometheus. That's like I said, that's my second favorite episode. Kevin Dobson says, gotta review the Highlander franchise. If you look, I've actually reviewed the first one, but you're probably not going to like that review. Because that was the first time I watched the movie. And I think it was like my first year on YouTube. So it's kind of a short, it's a short review. It's, like if I reviewed it today, I probably would have put a lot more into it, but it's a decent review to watch, but it's my knee-jerk reaction to the movie because I didn't grow up a Highlander fan. And so, you know, I guess it's good to get a perspective of somebody that's never been a fan of Highlander, but I did give it credit. It's definitely got some good stuff about it for sure. Michael Myers, what are your thoughts on the film Watchmen? Happens to be one of my favorite comic films ever. Like, and that's a beast of a movie. And I remember going into that movie not knowing anything about it. I didn't know anything about the graphic novel. And it was so refreshing. I guess that's the big word for it. Because at the time, you know, you had like the Spider-Man movies were coming out. You know, just your regular like Marvel type movies. I think that was before the Nolan trilogy, somewhere around there. But Watchmen is just, it's not just a great comic book movie. It's a great movie. It's amazing, you know? I love how, and it's Zack Snyder. As much crap as Zack Snyder gets. I love his work, and I really loved what he did in that movie. Some people say he's a lot of style over substance, and that might be true in some regard, but so far, I think everything he's put out, for me anyway, I've really enjoyed. And if anything, I think he's different than he's got his own stamp, and I love that. Really, he's got like an epic look to his direction in every movie, pretty much, except for Dawn of the Dead. But I like that, and Watchmen, I think, is about characters. I really enjoyed the focus on all those characters in the movie, especially Rorschach. Jackie Earle Haley, just knocked it out of the park with Rorschach. That's a fun character right there. And I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Shit like that. He's just a lot of great moments like that in Watchmen. He's just, I like the one scene too where they're like reminiscing about Rorschach, and they talk about how he like threw a guy down a flight of stairs because he annoyed him. Oh yeah, I love Zack Snyder. Jason Nike loves him too. Yeah, and Dawn of the Dead is great too. You believe it or not, I saw Dawn of the Dead the remake before I saw the original. Crazy enough, and I kind of wish I would have saw the original first, but I like that both those movies are very different, and I think that's what you want to do in a remake. You have the core story there, you got them all, but it's not theft like Prom Night, but it's a different flavor. It's almost like a different vision. It's updated. It feels updated. And it's fun. Even the tone of the remake is much different than the original. It's even more... The original's pretty frantic, but the remake's very frantic. Starts off with a bang, too. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I forgot to talk about the comedian. Jeffrey Dean Morgan casted as the comedian. Couldn't be more perfect. I literally have the comedian poster right back there on my wall. You can see him in the corner of my screen too. One of my favorite lines from a movie is from the comedian when he says, "It's all a big fucking joke." It's great. It's simple but yet so effective, and he's referring to the world that they've created and that they live in, and he just doesn't care anymore. He's past his prime, and he doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't care. It's all a big fucking joke. That's pretty much what he says. It's great. CJ Kidd, wow, man. I did not expect that. Holy crap. Banner must reason with a young, deformed child Jason in mental pocket dimension to stop a mind-controlling villain from using their physical essence, Hulk and undead Jason, as puppets to do his bidding, or else the world will fall to rage-based tyrants. That would be crazy. That would definitely be crazy. Reason with Jason in a mental pocket dimension. Now you get me to think like X-Men type stuff. To stop a mind-controlling villain from using their physical essence, Hulk and an undead Jason, as puppets to do. So basically you're saying like somebody can control the Hulk and Jason, and pretty much, the world is their playground and they can just destruct. It would be really chaotic. It makes me think of like the beginning of like Batman v Superman. Although, in Batman v... Well, I guess, Jason he's stronger than Batman. So I guess it would kind of work. But, and you can't really say that the Hulk's going to win because it's not that type of fight. It's this other guy like controlling the two. So I don't know. It sounds pretty crazy. It sounds really crazy, actually. Shane Moser says, do we need another Carrie movie? Stephen King. I love Carrie. Like, I love the original. I really like the remake, actually. Even though it is a very, very similar story. I have no problem with a remake being a similar story. I just don't want it to be the exact same story. I kind of the same way I explained Dawn of the Dead. But I like the remake because of the performances, especially by Julianne Moore and Chloe Grace Moretz. I think was, she was pretty good too. I actually liked her. So that's a fun one. But I think the big thing about that movie too is the ending when, that the bully girl, the bully chick, who's a great actress by the way, but the car, like she lifts up the car and then it goes head first into the road, and then her head goes through the windshield. That was a freaking intense scene. So now I've seen Carry the Rage 2, which is good. It's got is it Jason London? I think Jason London's in that one. But yeah, I like Carry the Rage. That's awesome. And the only one I haven't seen is the TV show. Now, if they if they do Carrie again, I think they should do like a sequel or something. I mean, that's pretty much what the Rage was too. It was a sequel, so they could do a sequel to the Carrie remake. I mean, and I was just thinking about this last night too. It's kind of interesting that like in remakes, they don't continue the story with sequels like they did in the originals. You know what I mean? It's strange. Like, take the big three. Nightmare had, 7, 8 movies. They reboot it. After that, nothing. Friday, 11 movies. I think that's plus the remake. Remake comes out, nothing. And what does a remake do? It sets you up for another run of movies. I think that's a remake is like a twofer because it's built-in marketing. And then, like I said, you've established a platform to continue the story, but for some reason they never ever do it. Halloween, we had Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and then that closed off that story. So you get what I'm saying? Isn't it kind of strange that like no, as far as we ever get is a part 2. The Hills Have Eyes had a part 2, but it never goes farther than 2. It's weird, and I think we're also just living in a day and age where maybe we don't get as many horror sequels. I don't know, though. I guess we do. I mean, you got The Purge. You got Paranormal Activity had quite a few. Saw had quite a few. So why these slasher icons can't get their shit together and have another, at least a trilogy, it's weird. I don't get it. I mean, if you guys know the reason for that, let me know because I don't understand it. It's very strange. W Glass 90 says, I want to see a Nightmare Origins movie with Robert Englund playing a human Freddy one last time and nothing else. Yeah, and it seems like that's always the debate. Like, do you bring back Robert Englund for a movie? I mean, he's in his 70s. He could still play Freddy. If you did that, I think you would want to make it a sequel to the first movie, kind of like what they did with Halloween 2018. I think that's the only way you could bring back Robert Englund and make it work. And if they did that and maybe planned out 2 movies, kind of like what they're doing with Kills and Ends, you could probably squeeze out a couple movies out of Robert Englund. If you have a really good script, then I think it could happen. And you film them back to back, take advantage of that time that you have with Robert Englund, because he's even admitted himself. He's like, I'm no spring chicken anymore. It's not that easy running around, chopping up ladies like, I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, it's not easy being him at the age that he's at now. But I mean, the chance to see Robert Englund play Freddy Krueger again, yeah, I would definitely be for it. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw has been getting more movies than any of them. That's a good point, Jason. And they rebooted it in 2003. But it goes back to what I'm saying, too. Like, they rebooted in 2003, so you would think that they would continue that story. But no, what do? They say, okay, now let's tell a prequel, and then let's just call it a day. And then with Texas Chainsaw 3D, what did they do? Texas Chainsaw 3D, they pretty much did a Halloween 2018, except they did it first. They made it a sequel to the first movie, which I actually have a great time with 3D. It's one of those movies that, do you have that movie that in your mind, you're like, why do people hate this movie like so much? Like, I get not liking a movie, but hating a movie. I've talked to people that hate Texas Chainsaw 3D so much, and how can they hate it so much and I actually like have a blast with the movie? It's strange to me. I'm not saying they're wrong and I'm right, but It's just interesting, you know? Holly says, enjoyed your horrible remakes video, Lee. Pet Cemetery would be in my list as a horrible remake. I can't even go back and rewatch it. Same, Holly. And you know what? What's funny is that I forgot 2 movies when I put that list together. And I always do this. I forgot Flatliners, and then I forgot Pet Cemetery. And those movies would have definitely been on the list. And now I have regrets, because if I would have put those 2 movies on the list, then I wouldn't have had to put Night of the Demons and Friday the 13th remake. Because those 2 did not really belong on that list. But for some reason, I always forget 1 or 2. And maybe that's because the Pet Cemetery remake was so forgettable that it just completely left my brain. But, and I was talking to Drewski today about Pet Cemetery. And I think we both agreed that it could be a better movie if A, they didn't show that freaking twist in the trailer, and B, they need another 15 minutes on that movie. I think they need another 15 minutes on that movie for that ending with so I'm going to give you guys a spoiler alert here, okay? Because I'm going to say something about the ending of Pet Cemetery, and I don't want, if you guys haven't seen the Pet Cemetery remake, stick your fingers in your ears for like 30 seconds, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So the end, when the daughter is, comes back instead of Gage. The way they did it in the movie, it was just like she comes back, she does her thing for 2 minutes, and then they call it a day, and it's over. They should have spent at least another maybe 10 minutes on that scene. You had a good chance for some nice, heartfelt, emotional scenes too with her. I was all for the twist. I really was. It was the execution that was the problem. I actually got excited about the twist, even though they spoiled it for me in the trailer. A couple more super chats here. Let me go up. Man, you guys are amazing with these super chats. CJ Kid 1231 says, Wolverine goes to Brazil to do some soul searching to visit an old flame, Maria, in a rainforest. Only for Logan and Maria to come face to face with the Predator after he is chosen as a worthy prey for a skull trophy. Now you're talking. Like, that would be great. Like the Predator hunting Wolverine, or it could be Wolverine hunting the Predator, because Wolverine, the guy doesn't back down from anybody. I'm calling it right now. Wolverine, I think he would clean house with the Predator. Plus, he's got the claws, And Predator's blood isn't acidic. I think if they would have made Predator's blood acidic, because I will say they did a great job in Predator making Predator like unstoppable. Like by the end of that movie, you were thinking in your head, there's no way Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be able to take this guy. And it's Arnold Schwarzenegger you're talking about, okay? Beginning of the movie, you're thinking, he's a tank. Nobody could ever take Arnold Schwarzenegger. But by the end of the movie, they did such a great job building up how dangerous the Predator was that it made him like one of the greatest villains I've ever seen. So to answer what CJ Kidd is talking about, that would be an awesome movie, actually. Because Wolverine, I like Wolverine when he's like in the forest, in the woods and all that stuff too. I think that's one reason why I liked Logan. Not saying he was always in the forest, but I don't know, it just had a little bit more like natural terrain. But yeah, man, I'd be totally down for that. And thank you, CJ Kidd. Wow. I got another super chat here. Hold on. Is that Willie? Yeah, Willie A. Thank you for all that you do. It truly means a lot, especially to those of us who cannot get out and about. You're awesome possum. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. I was just thinking about that when this was not planned. I was at work, and first thing I do when I get home is I find out what my wife's day's like, because right now she's like knee deep in this nursing program. And I said, babe, what do you got going tonight? And she says, I have to study. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll do a live stream. And I try to spend time with you guys as much as I can. And plus I didn't feel like editing tonight. I just worked my ass off yesterday to get that worst remakes video out. And those, I talked about this in the last stream, but those top 10s are a different beast, editing wise. It's like it's like climbing a mountain, and for me anyway, I can never get them done in one shot. I have to like work on it, step back, take a break, work on it, step back, take a break. So tonight I didn't really want to sit down and edit, and I got excited about the thought of talking to you guys about superheroes and horror stuff. So, David Irwin, Lee, would you consider extending your Dr. Lemus skits into a short film? That would be great. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it was fun doing the Dr. Lemus thing, but my brain's always thinking in terms of like, really I'm like editing in my brain all the time and putting thoughts together and stuff like that. And what could I do in a short film? Because I am thirsty to do a short film. I really want to do some type of short film, even if it Halloween related or not Halloween related. It does get me excited to do that. So I don't know. Maybe there could be a return of Dr. Lemus. We'll see. It could be fun. In that The Devil's Autumn, I got to do kind of a radio DJ type deal. That was fun. James Grimm, he messaged me, he asked me if I'd like to do it. I was like, hell yeah, man, that'd be awesome. So, yeah. Haley, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Jacob's Ladder was a horrible remake. Everybody in the comments kept saying that. I guess luckily I haven't seen Jacob's Ladder, the remake, because I keep hearing that it's horrible. I didn't even know there was a remake to Jacob's Ladder, if I'm being honest. So, but I don't think I can make a part 2. Like, I always try to think up a part 2 of those top 10s, but I've done 3 remake lists, 2 for best of and 1 for worst. And somebody actually reminded me that I actually put Night of the Demons and Halloween on my best remakes part 2. That was embarrassing, but I stand by it because I did say at the beginning of the worst of video that, hey, the number 10 through like 7, these are movies that I probably like. So I kind of explained myself. And plus, I mean, of all the horror remakes, I covered over 30, maybe 35. So you're going to have some bleeding through in there. I had another super chat up here. Hold on. Big G, thank you so much. He says, hi Lee, Predator 2 sucked. Do you agree? Great channel. No, I don't actually. I like Predator 2. I think it's got some issues, but there's a lot that I actually like about it. I like the grittiness of it. I love that it's actually set in LA. I like that they went with Danny Glover because I don't think you want to go with Schwarzenegger or a Schwarzenegger type again. Of course, I would have been for Schwarzenegger coming back. Yeah. But I liked Danny Glover in the role. I thought it's not nearly as good as the first movie. Let me say that. But, it's one of those movies. I think if you got Gary Busey in your movie, that's got to count for something, right? I love Gary Busey. But yeah, Bill Paxton, I actually have a good time with Predator 2, actually. It feels, if you remember, like in the 80s, there were quite a few of these, like, cop movies. And it seems like the cop in LA movies. And they all had this, like you could see the smog on the film, They just all had this, like, vibe to them. And Predator 2 fit right into that, actually. Kind of like Lethal Weapon. Charles Thompson, thanks, brother. Says, would love to see Batman in Brightburn. I actually had in my notes here, I wrote down Brightburn was one of the movies I wanted to discuss because Superman is easily one of the deadliest superheroes out there. Like, this is a guy that could pluck, not even punch, but pluck your head off of your body. So putting Batman in a Brightburn movie would pretty much be like putting Batman in a Superman movie. Because, I mean, that's what the character in Brightburn is. He's a young Superman, except he's evil. So I think that could be even more interesting because then Batman's got to figure out how to stop. Like in Batman v Superman, he wanted to stop Superman, but I don't know if I guess he did think Superman was bad because, I mean, at the beginning of the movie, freaking skyscrapers are falling and everything. So I don't think he thought that much about it. He just knew that, hey, something had to be done with this. But, I mean, this is like in your face evil. So It could be really interesting, actually. I like Brightburn because it was a smaller scale type of, you know, Superman type of movie. Even though it's, you know, he's not Superman, of course, but it's, you could say it's like he's a Zod, you know, because Zod had the same powers as Superman. So I mean, what if he was like an evil young Zod? Who knows? But that's a good good topic, actually. Big G says, did you ever see Night of the Scarecrow 80s TV horror film? I saw that when I was like really, really young. I remember it coming on TV, and I remember it scaring me. But outside of that, I don't remember the movie at all. But I would love to actually see it again. It's on my list to watch and review. Like, I'm really into watching a lot of these early 80s, late 70s types of horror films lately. And that one's definitely on there. I almost ate the banana peel. Okay, I'm going to get a Monster. Get you a drink or something, all right? I'll be right back. That's crazy. I can't believe you've never seen White Man Can't Jump. Can you believe that my wife has never seen White Men Can't Jump? That's got to be a crime, right? I was telling her about White Men Can't Jump, and like when all this is over and all those restaurants, you know, are open for business. I mean, they're open, but like you can actually go in and dine. So I was thinking about the scene from White Man Can Jump where he goes, "We're going to Sizzler. We're going to Sizzler." And it was awesome and hilarious. All right, hold on. So Jason Nike says he watched Phantasm for the first time last night. Holy crap. Well, I mean, or like 2 years ago when I started that review series, that was the first time I saw it. Me and Cody Leach, we actually reviewed. We were going to do the whole franchise. I still haven't done the fifth movie yet. I apologize for that. One day I will get that review out though. But that was the first time I saw Phantasm, and I actually really like the first two movies. They're both, and I like that the first movie is different in feel than the second movie. The second movie is, it feels bigger. I guess I could call it like the Terminator 2 of the Phantasm franchise. So, but yeah, I like Phantasm. It's cool. They lost me with the third and the fourth one though. But I will definitely do the fifth one. You know, I said I was going to do it, and I will do the fifth one. That's all. I'm going to do it. All right. David Irwin says, Lee, are you looking forward to Morbius, the living vampire movie with Jared Leto? And do you have any thoughts on Sony's Spider-Verse? Yeah. I'm a big Jared Leto fan, actually. I think he's a great actor. He's hit and miss, but I think when he hits, he really hits. I mean, he was amazing in Dallas Buyers Club. Not that that's anything close to what he's doing with Morbius, but I think he can. I think he's the type of actor that can do a good job in a superhero movie. Now, he did the Joker, and I don't think he was really given a fair shake because I was interested in him as the Joker. I think every scene that he was in, as few scenes as there were, I liked him. I did. You know, he wasn't Heath Ledger or anything, but I was curious to see where they could go with him. But it wasn't his movie, so I think he could be really good as Morbius. Now, it's not just up to him, though. You know, the story has to be good, all that stuff. But I'm really into vampires anyway when they're done right. So I'm totally looking forward to it, actually. What was I going to... I was going to talk about something else before the Morbius movie. I think I was going to bring up like Blade, because Blade is one of those superhero characters that really has those horror elements to it, which I dig. I really dig. And I love the first Blade. I used to think that I loved the second Blade, and then I watched it recently, and it did not age well. But there's still got some cool stuff in it. I like Ron Perlman in it. He's still great. Hit the back and forth between him and Blade is really funny, especially when they're in the club, and Blade like sticks that explosive device on the back of his head. They were really funny. I like their back and forth. Crown the Empire. Thanks, man. He says, you may find this matchup weird, but Kick-Ass versus Mackie from summer of '84. That is very strange, actually. I like it, though, because Kick-Ass has no powers whatsoever. And he's still figuring out how to become a superhero. So, going against Mr. Mackey from summer of '84 could be interesting, actually. And, Mackie, man, that was like an underrated character for 2018 when that came out. Mackie was a great freaking villain, actually. Like, I could put him on underrated horror villains for sure. I got another one from CJ Kidd up here. Would you rank all 19 of Alien, Predator, and Terminator films? Yeah, I could. That's something I could probably do down the line. That could be fun. Yeah, because especially Alien and Predator. I've actually ranked the Aliens. I didn't do a ranking for the Predator yet, but putting all three of those together, I don't see why not. That could be a kind of a fun ranking. Doing it right here, right now, would be tough. I'm gonna say and I don't want to give you like a half-assed because like ranking them individually, I could probably do, but then like intertwining them, I would totally screw that up. But it's definitely something like it's a good video idea for sure. Let me go up here and see if I want to make sure I didn't miss another super chat. No, I didn't. Okay, good. All right. Oh, there you go. Richie Work, Hulk versus Kong. That's one that I've always like thought about for some reason. I don't know why. Like, what if Hulk was actually going against Kong? Which is kind of funny too, because in the first Hulk movie, Hulk could get bigger, like the angrier he got. So if you had that Hulk going against Kong, would he get to like Kong's size? I don't know. But it'd be an interesting fight. I think if Hulk got as big as Kong, though, Hulk would win. I think Hulk would definitely win. Hell, Hulk would probably win if he was like his normal size against Kong. Because, like I said, when he gets stronger, or when he gets big, or when he gets angrier, he gets stronger. Okay, I'm going to run over to Killer Flicks now. And I'm going to read some of their comments there. Because I said I was going to do that. And this will be fun. Hold on. So let me go over here. And... Okay, we're in Killer Flicks now. All right, so the last one I looked at was Josh for Killer. Okay, so Jack Conray, Rambo versus Jason. We actually discussed that one. I would definitely like. That'd be a really good one. It'd be even matched. It'd be awesome. Chris Snyder says, "Give me an R-rated Ghost Rider movie." Give me a good Ghost Rider movie, because I didn't really care about those two. The second one I heard was like atrocious. The first one I didn't really care for it that much, so I thought it was rated R, but I guess it's not. And would you want to see Cage as Ghost Rider again? I don't know. Okay, Valerie Johnson says Wolverine and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep, did we talk about that Wolverine? We've talked about a couple of them in Nightmare on Elm Street, like Deadpool. There was another one we talked about too, but Wolverine and A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think that would be really good to see, because Wolverine's another one of those like verbal, you know, verbal superheroes. You know, really fun to watch him exchange with other people, especially like when he goes against like Cyclops. That's always fun. So Wolverine and Freddy would be pretty badass, actually. Matt Malacocchio says yes. Daredevil versus Jason. Yeah, that would be really awesome, actually. Jack Woodlock says Batman. I don't know. Is that Batman versus Batman? Aaron France says I'd like to see the Punisher in 28 Days Later style zombie film, just mowing down herds of infected. I was actually talking about 28 Days Later today with a coworker, because you got your zombies, but the infected from with the rage virus, to me they're like 10 times even worse than zombies, because they're like sprinting at you. And that's one thing I liked about, like, I reviewed this movie Bloodfest, and it's kind of like Cabin in the Woods, where it has a lot of different horror properties together. And it actually had zombies, and it had these people that were infected with a like rage virus, type of virus. And there's small moments in the movie, but it was cool, actually. Alexander Dirksen says Punisher in versus Maniac or Maniac Cop. Yeah, that would be. I mean, those worlds like would fit together perfectly, I think. Maurice McKittrick says I would love to see Wolverine and we talked about Wolverine and Nightmare on Elm Street. Kevin Smart, Wonder Woman and Hellraiser. That's a weird Wonder Woman and Hellraiser. Very strange. The Joker in Saw. That could, because those are two gritty worlds. So putting those together, Joker is completely insane as it is. So what do you do when you put him up against Jigsaw? That could be interesting, actually. Craig Harris says Doctor Strange versus Freddy Krueger. I remember when I first saw Doctor Strange, it was the cartoon that came out in the 90s. And in the cartoon, like, Doctor Strange was like the most powerful being on in the universe. Like, I couldn't imagine anybody beating Doctor Strange. He's a little bit more grounded in the actual MCU movies. Still extremely powerful, though. Andrew Dick says, I'm still waiting on a live-action Marvel zombie movie. I wonder if the MCU has that in their back pocket. Like, I wonder if they're waiting to release that. Because I think it would be a surefire hit. I mean, that's an irresistible premise to have Marvel zombies. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of people wanting to see Batman in a. I mean, Batman's perfect for a horror film. Spider-Man and Scream. Oh, that could be interesting, actually. Jason Mongold says going to be late joining. Sorry, but the obvious choice would be Wolverine in a Freddy movie. Yep, a lot of people saying Wolverine in a Freddy movie. Let me scroll down and see how many. Let's see. We got. Okay, yeah, we don't have too many more. Buffy the Vampire Slayer in a collector movie. That could be badass, actually. I just watched the entire Buffy run with my wife a couple months ago, and we hadn't watched them probably since like the early 2000s. So it was kind of nice to go back and rewatch all those. Really fun. Thor in a Friday the 13th movie. Zach Lamothe. I think Thor would clean house with Jason, though, if I'm being honest. Iceman versus Krampus. Sean Moriarty. Did you guys like the Krampus movie? I've given that movie 2 tries, and for some reason it just doesn't click with me. I don't know what it is. I like that Christmas Horror Story better, which has like a little Krampus story in it. I actually prefer that over the Krampus movie. Luke Lambert says Incredible Hulk is a murderous killing machine. I had a nightmare once that I was in a lift and the Hulk was on top tearing it open and trying to grab me. Did I ever have any Hulk nightmares? I'm sure I did. I must have when I was a kid. He scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. And then Jack Oxman says Spawn. Chuck Crane says The Punisher. Charles Thompson says Superman, Batman, and Brightburn. Okay. Good stuff in there. Killer flicks. All right. So let me go back to here. Okay. Okay, now I'm back to you guys. How are you guys doing? So Holly says she loves Krampus. See, I guess everybody loves Krampus except me. I was actually talking to Leela today too about Doctor Sleep. She says she just saw Doctor Sleep, and I was like, "Let me guess, you loved it, right?" Because everybody freaking loves that movie except me. So I guess I'll have to give it another try too. Doctor Sleep, for some reason, I don't know what it was. It just did not. I don't know. It just did not sit right with me. It's one of those weird things. It's one of those movies like everybody likes it. I didn't like it. I don't know. It's weird. I thought it was okay, but I just didn't. Like, I did like the scene where all the Rose the Hat and her crew, they're attacking that little kid. That was a good scene, actually. I did like that. I do not want to smack like into the microphone. That would be disgusting. Okay. So, Holly, you need to watch Doctor Sleep then, because I need to hear what you think about it. Because for some reason, and maybe it was because I was comparing it to The Shining the whole time, and to me, this like you can't compare it to The Shining. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I need to be thinking of it in a different way. You know. I think the thing I liked about The Shining was you couldn't see the evil. Like it was the house that was taking over Jack. And Jack became the villain, you know? Whereas Doctor Sleep, there are actual villains in the movie. And I thought it was just boring. There was a lot of boring parts in it, but I don't know. Like I will give it another chance though. Okay, David Irwin says, are you excited for the Hellraiser reboot? I'll believe it when I see it. Because that thing has been in like development hell for probably a decade now. And it seems like it never gets off the ground. I feel like we'll never see the freaking Hellraiser reboot. I don't know why. I'm excited for it though because Hellraiser is such a unique property. You know, it's so far outside the realm of like like slashers, and it's just completely insane. So I'd be curious to see what a new story, like a remake, could be. But I reviewed that whole franchise, guys. It's rough. I really enjoyed the first movie. The second movie has some merit to it. The third movie's kind of fun. Some good ideas in the fourth movie. I really liked Angelique. I think Angelique could have her own freaking like spinoff franchise. That's a really good character. But then you just had detective story after detective story after detective story, and they just plugged, Pinhead in there. Okay, another one from CJ Kidd. Here we go. The Guardians of the Galaxy receive a distress call from a planet nearby. When they arrive, they come to find out that the sender is host to a face hugger. That can they escape the space station infested with xenomorphs? I mean, that's a script that writes itself right there too. Because I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy, if they are attacked, and can you imagine like one of those eggs going into one of them's body, and then for the rest of the movie, all the Guardians of the Galaxy have to fight this just a single xenomorph. I'd prefer it with just one xenomorph, not a whole bunch of them. That's what I love about the first Alien. It's just one alien, one xenomorph, and I think that makes it creepier for some reason. I don't know why. In reality, it'd be scarier to have more, but for some reason in the movie world, to me, I just like having one. Doesn't help that Ridley Scott's directing it too, but can you imagine if Ridley Scott directed that movie too with the Guardians of the Galaxy? That would be, I think it'd be awesome actually. And I'll even go further. when we're talking about superheroes and horror, like putting the Guardians of the Galaxy in a horror comedy would be really fun because all these different worlds that they go to. Why not go to maybe mix Pitch Black with the Guardians of the Galaxy? You know, they go to some planet that has all those creatures from Pitch Black. That could be fun. Okay, Anarcha Media says also Norman Bates in the Block novel was more Donald Trump than Anthony Perkins. That is the strangest statement. Let me see. I missed Big G, I missed your super chat. Let me see, hold on. Let me go back up here and see if I see it, Big G. There it is. Okay, is there going to be a Cobra TV series? You know, I don't know because it seems like Stallone, he always has like quite a few different properties that he thinks about getting going, and he only does like a portion of them. You know, Stallone's an idea guy. He constantly has ideas popping up in his head. I mean, he originally wanted to make like sequels to Cobra. And then I think he just gets sidetracked with other ideas, you know? Like he literally was thinking about rebooting Death Wish before Death Wish was rebooted with Bruce Willis. And I remember he was going on like Ain't It Cool News and talking with the fans and stuff, doing Q&As and whatnot. This was like 10 years ago. This is like when he was promoting Expendables and stuff like that. And you know, he would just like throw ideas out like, "Hey, what do you guys think about me doing Death Wish?" And I remember like the fans were like, "Don't do it." And then he just didn't do it. So I think a Cobra TV series is possible. But Stallone, he's getting up there in age too. And a TV series, I think Stallone's the type of guy that when he puts his eggs in a basket, he likes to be really involved in it. You know, he's a workaholic. So I don't know if he would want to get involved in a TV series as much as doing just a movie, you know? But I mean, it could be just like a producing role. Like he could do a producing role and not have to be as hands-on. But I think Stallone's the type of guy that likes to be hands-on to anything he's doing. So I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think we're going to see a Cobra TV series anytime soon. Because usually Stallone likes to promote that stuff too on like his Instagram. Like I follow his Instagram, and anytime the guy's got an idea in his head, he pops it out there on Instagram. So if it's something that he's really, really invested in, then you start seeing a lot more of it. So I think that's the best way to find out what Stallone's got up his sleeve. Follow his Instagram because it's always on there. And thanks for the super chat, Big G. Stallone already did Get Carter. He does not need to do Death Wish. Yeah, exactly, too. That's a good point, Somneat. Conan versus Rambo. Ooh, that'd be a good one. That'd be a really good one. It's funny to me that Stallone and Schwarzenegger used to hate each other. And I think that's because they were so competitive with each other, you know? It was interesting because, like, I thought they hated each other at one point. And I think that's why you never saw them in movies together. Like I remember they were supposed to, they were pitched a movie idea where they would both be dressed in drag, which I think that movie ended up being the movie that was Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes. But I know Stallone and Schwarzenegger, they were offered a role like that back in the, I think in the late 80s. And luckily that never happened. Any word on Creed 3 being made? Love the Rocky spinoff. Creed 3 is definitely being made. I saw something on Instagram about it a while back. But I would not expect Stallone to be in that. He pretty much hung up his hat in the second movie. So, but I do think that they're doing another Creed movie. So it'll be interesting to see what they do without Stallone there, you know? I mean, that franchise owes a huge debt to Stallone. As great of a director as Ryan Coogler is, and he made an amazing movie in the first Creed, Stallone put a lot of those butts in the seats. You know, like if it would have been just a standard boxing movie with Michael B. Jordan, it probably wouldn't have done as well. And it still would have been great, I think. But I think a lot of that, yeah, Tu Wong Fu, that's it, Holly. Thank you. Yeah, they owe a huge debt to Stallone, though. But I'll still go see Creed 3. You know, now that, you know, the character is established, I'd still go see it. Arnold tricked Stallone into doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, and I'm sure he regretted that. That is a horrible movie. I've only seen it once. And you know how big of a Stallone fan I am. Okay. CJ Kidd, another super chat coming in. While watching Evil Dead, Deadpool mistakenly snags the wrong remote and gets sucked into the movie. Now Deadpool and Ash have to learn to stop the Deadites and use the Necronomicon to get back the Marvel Universe. Call to Veretta Chimichanga. Oh my God, can you imagine Ash and Daredevil, like, just them constantly just verbally going at it while they're fighting Deadites? I would definitely watch that. That would be fucking amazing, actually. See, I mean, you're proving my point. Like, that's why you should definitely consider putting horror properties with comic book properties. It's a match made in heaven, as far as I'm concerned. And I think most horror fans like comic book movies, you know? But I wondered, like, who would one up who? Because Ash always gets the last word. But going up against Daredevil, I think it's anybody's game. But it would be really, really fun. And it'd be really fun, too, if, like, Ash, like, went nuts like he did in the second movie. Like, if there was a scene in there where Ash started going crazy, you know, like fighting with his own hand and crap. And then somehow Deadpool, like, enters the frame. And Deadpool, like, takes his own hand out and starts beating the shit out of Ash with it. I think that'd be hilarious. Let's see. Ashanti Berry says you should do a review of the Ash versus Evil Dead series because I loved it and I'm sad it was canceled. Yeah, you know, I didn't really give it a chance. I only saw like the first couple of episodes, and then I like moved on to something else. I'm weird like that with TV shows though. Like, and I'm the worst type of TV watcher because for me, it's got to be like blowing up the freaking internet or something like that. And then it'll like Tiger King. Like I became obsessed with Tiger King, but I would have never watched it if it wasn't for everybody talking about Tiger King. Joey Merritt, I'm good, man. How are you doing? I'm enjoying talking with you guys. Hold on, another super chat from Crown the Empire. Two things. First, a shout out for CJ Kidd for all that love sharing. Yeah, dude. Jesus. Like I didn't expect to get any super chats. I just wanted to like chill with you guys and talk about superheroes and horror stuff. But I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Also, going back to 28 days later, have you seen Train to Busan? If so, what did you think about Peninsula? Yes, I reviewed Train to Busan. Actually, love that movie. I love that freaking relationship between the father and the daughter. Like, if you put like a cute daughter in a movie like that, and just put those nice tender moments, it sucks me right in. Now I think I didn't see the trailer yet, but now is Peninsula, is that a sequel to Train to Busan? Because I heard they were making a sequel to Train to Busan, and I think that is a sequel. So I'll have to check out that trailer, though. I'll tell you what. Do you guys want me to do a trailer reaction right now to Peninsula? Hold on. Let me see if I can. If you give me a second. I mean, since you guys are being so nice, I'll do that for you guys. Hold on. Let me go to YouTube here. Peninsula trailer. Here we go. Train to Busan 2. Okay, so what I do... Let me just... I download this stuff. There's a site I go to. I'll give you guys a little tip right here. If you ever want to download a YouTube video, go to y2mate.com. Y2mate. You paste it in there. I'm sure you guys know a bunch of these, but it's really quick and easy. Then you download it, and then I'm going to do a trailer reaction with you guys. This will be fun. And let me see if I'm still connected here. Okay. All right, Crown the Empire. Oh, I got another. Let me get the super chat up here real quick. Hulk versus Doomsday. Oh, man, that's the fight right there. The Hulk fan in me likes to think that Hulk could beat Doomsday, even though Doomsday, I think, technically is the stronger guy. But I like to think that Hulk would win because I see Doomsday as like an abomination type character. So I say Hulk. Will A, the faculty meets arachnophobia meets X-Men or Avengers. Let me just like, let me process that real quick. The faculty meets arachnophobia, that could work. But then you throw me with X-Men or Avengers. Because if you put spiders in the faculty, and the faculty's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So it's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers with spiders and X-Men and Avengers. It's just, I can't put those two together. It's a strange pairing. King Kennedy, they could make a good Daredevil horror movie, honestly, but Morbius character would fit perfectly for a horror film if Marvel was about that. Yeah, you know, I really want them to do another Daredevil movie. I actually really liked the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, if I'm being honest. I mean, it had issues, but I still think it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, actually. Okay, guys, let me pull up this trailer here. We're going to do a trailer reaction together. Hold on. Okay, open that. Open this up. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to react. Let me fix this window here. No, that's good enough. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to watch this trailer for the first time for you guys. Are you ready? Hold on. All right, and play. So they're pretty much in our world now. Ooh, look at those zombies. Was that like a stack of zombies? Ooh, that's a nice looking image.
많이 무서웠죠?
attention. Yep, I'm in. And I haven't been excited about a zombie movie in a long time. Like, I completely lost interest in Walking Dead because it was just so repetitive. But the whole Train to Busan world I bought into, especially because of the, like I said, the emotion between the characters. This looks really good, actually. And it looks like it's very well made too. Like, because a lot of that's CGI, but man, it looks very good. Like, I got nothing against CGI if it looks real, and that looked pretty badass. This is kind of cool too because this is my first live trailer reaction, right? All right, so let me go back over here. What do you guys think about that? Are you excited for it? Like, I've never met anybody that didn't like the Train to Busan, But yeah, this looks really good. It kind of gave me a little bit of that World War Z vibe, just because the mass amount of zombies in this movie. A lot of zombie movies are much more like spread out, and you just see like small clusters of zombies. I guess kind of like Walking Dead, but this one, it looks like the world is just like completely overrun. So I'm definitely in though. Looks really good, actually. The Grudge meets Dawn of the Dead. Well, see, The Grudge is so contained. The Grudge is like contained to just like one house. And I think, now I'm no Grudge expert, but I think like it can latch itself onto the characters, and so wherever they go, the Grudge goes with them. So, it could be interesting. Like if you have a Dawn of the Dead world where those characters that have the Grudge attached to them are also having to deal with zombies, I don't know how that would play out. It'd be kind of strange. Thomas Woodcock, what's up, man? He says, would you class Danny Torrance from The Shining to be sort of a superhero? Yeah. I mean, you know what? I would say he's kind of like an X-Men. One of those, because X-Men, they have like all these different powers, these weird powers. I was watching Chris D'Elia, his stand-up special, and he was talking about X-Men, and it was really funny. And he said, because he was talking about like the whole Me Too movement and all that stuff, and he says, that there's got to be a couple X-Men characters that have like just the most useless power, and why not play around with that? And so, how do I say this? So he says that, like, what if this guy had this power where he could tell if people wanted to see his dick? That would be the strangest power ever. I think I lost you with that one. David Irwin says, the trailer looked good. All I know about Train to Busan, my daughter told me. You need to watch it. It's really good. Really good, actually. Of all the Asian horror, I think I like South Korean the best. They just seem to be like, I don't know. It's just, as far as just quality movies, I think you get the best out of South Korean. And because the Wailing was so amazing. Tale of Two Sisters, amazing. So yeah, there's, and like I said, I haven't seen every freaking Asian film. I haven't even seen like the original Grudge movies, the original Ring. But what I have seen, I've liked South Korean the most. Hell, even Parasite was South Korean, I think, right? Split and Glass are great examples of superheroes and villains submerged into horror. Yes, exactly. And let me tell you, when I remember seeing Split in the theater with my son, and at the end of the movie, when they clue you in on the twist with the music, which is genius. We were just sitting there watching the movie. They're in the diner, and all of a sudden we started hearing this music from Unbreakable, and we both like looked at each other at the same time, and we started getting excited. We're like, why is Unbreakable music? Oh my God, this is in the Unbreakable universe. Holy crap. And what's funny is like nobody in the theater got it, because Unbreakable is kind of a, It's not like freaking a Marvel movie. Unbreakable, only a handful of people know the movie. I think, cinephiles, movie fans know the Unbreakable, but your casual moviegoer might not know Unbreakable. So there were a lot of people in the theater that had no clue what was going on. Another super chat from CJ Kidd. He says, Sarah Pizzini, Witchblade, gets called in to investigate a murder mystery. Now, I've never seen Witchblade. Okay. Come to find out, a mob boss criminal uses his wishes through the Dijin to commit these acts. Can the Witchblade stop the Wishmaster from ruling the world after three wishes? See, that I've never seen Wishmaster, and I've always heard Wishmaster is pretty good. And Witchblade. And so Wishmaster's power uses his wishes through the Dijin to commit these acts. So what are Wishmaster's powers? I guess that's what I'm looking for. I guess he can create wishes, or he can grant wishes. That's what I'm thinking. Mob boss criminal uses his wishes through the Dijin to commit these acts. So can the Witchblade stop the Wishmaster from ruling the world after 3 wishes? It would definitely be an ambitious movie with with like a lot of like supernatural qualities to it. But man, that's pretty strange. I need to see Wishmaster though, and I've never seen Witchblade either. So I wish I could have given you a better answer on that one, CJ Kidd. You've been throwing so many great ones at me tonight, and I appreciate all the support. But I'll tell you what though, I will research and look into it. Maybe I'll even like review like the first Wishmaster. I think I have those on DVD too, actually. Wishmaster's fine, but expect a lot of 90s cheese. W Glass 90. I like 90s cheese though. There's 80s cheese and there's 90s cheese, and they're very different. You don't want to get the two mixed up. Will A, $2. Thank you so much. He says Spawn versus Evil Dead musical. Yeah, why not? Holly says, a friend of mine who's originally from Thailand raves about Thai horror. All she talks about. Yeah, it's one of those genres. Like, there are people that are just obsessed with it. And once you get it, like, there's a lot that I still want to watch too. Like, what's that movie? Audition. That's one I hear is really good. Like, the thing about Asian horror is, man, they get pretty damn ambitious, and they have probably the most creative horror minds that I've ever witnessed. It's insane, the stories that these cultures come up with, and a lot of times they don't spell it out for you. A lot of times when you watch Asian horror, you might have questions at the end. Like, especially like the Wailing. That movie is left up to so many different interpretations. It's crazy. And I like that. I tend to like polarizing horror films that leave you guessing. Yeah, I like that stuff. I think that's why I liked Hereditary. I liked Midsommar. All those movies. Raw. I like movies like that just leave. I just saw this 80s movie yesterday, Tourist Trap. I thought this was going to be your standard slasher movie. And after I was done with it, I was just like, wow, that was really weird. It's another one of those mannequin movies. I just finished reviewing Maniac that had mannequins, like creepy mannequins. This has even creepier mannequins in it. But it goes much more in the direction of like tension than it does like blood and guts. There's very little blood. This movie's PG, actually. I didn't even realize that until after I watched it. But it's one of those movies that doesn't spell everything out. And at the end of it, again, you might have questions. But it's definitely one that stays with you. Like, after I watched it, I couldn't get that out of my head. So I naturally went and like researched the behind the scenes stuff. And sure enough, one of those Texan directors, this guy that was friends with Tobe Hooper, based out of Houston, he directed it. And I do like those Texan directors. Tobe Hooper is like probably one of my favorite horror directors. This guy, same type deal. He likes a challenging story, And it was awesome, actually. So it's a movie that hasn't left my head, and it's cool that it was PG, but it definitely felt like an R-rated movie. You know, this was a time where PG movies, it seemed like, could get away with a lot more in terms of violence, especially if you just left the blood out. I don't know. This movie probably would have been rated PG-13 today, but like, there's a movie called Looker that came out in the early 80s that has more nudity than most rated R movies today. And it was PG. CJ Kidd, another super chat. He says, "Hey Lee, could you do a reaction to Jason versus Michael from Radical Talent? I have a feeling you'll love it, and I know some from the chat will agree." Jason versus Michael. Let me see how long it is. Hold on just a sec. Let me pull it up over here. Hold on. Jason versus Michael. Is it Radical Talent? Let me see. Hold on just a sec. Yeah, Radical Talent. Let's see. All right, so it says it's 30 minutes long. How about this? How about I do a review of it instead of doing, like, because I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me watch this for 30 minutes. Unless you guys really want me to watch it for 30 minutes, I will do that for you. But if you'd rather me actually absorb it and do a review for you, then I will do that as well. What do you think about that, CJ Kidd? Is that something that you'd be cool with? I mean, you've done so much for me tonight that, I mean, if you want me to watch it, I'll definitely watch it. So I'll wait for your answer, good sir. Yeah, Maniac Cop's awesome. Ebert Thon, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Hereditary, very good. Midsommar, bad. I liked Midsommar, but I definitely agree that Hereditary is better. I wonder, why does everybody hate Midsommar? Yeah, I liked it. I think it's pretty interesting, actually. It gets crazy in the end, but I kind of like that about it. Thomas Woodcock, would you do a review of American Psycho? Yeah, I've always planned on doing American Psycho. It's just one of those that kind of like slips by me. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I freaking love American Psycho. So I'm definitely planning on doing a review on it. Jason Mongold says, "I almost had a heart attack watching Tanya Roberts in that outfit and Tourist Trap." Yeah, Tanya Roberts, Jesus fucking Christ. That is a beautiful, beautiful woman. Yeah. Danish horror really goes down the tubes over the years. Neil Blomkamp fan says, "Hey Drumdums, this is a pitch idea. Would you like to see a movie with Sylvester Stallone?" Hold on, let me go back. I lost it for some reason. Why did I lose that comment? Oh, it says message retract. Okay, so I guess I lost it. Okay. DeReal Sean, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. I'm good, man. How are you doing? I'm holding the fort down. Hold on. Let me let Levi out. Levi's going crazy. Hold on. Go on, buddy. Okay, here it is again. "Hey Drumdums, this is a pitch idea. Would you like to see a movie with Sylvester Stallone and Samara Weaving in an action movie?" Yeah, of course. Who would I be to say no to that? Yeah, that'd be great. I love Samara Weaving. Love Sylvester Stallone. I think it'd be great if she like played his daughter or something. That'd be awesome. American Psycho, you like Huey Lewis, and then I love all those little speeches that he gives before he freaking axes everybody. Huey Lewis and the News were really coming into their own during this era of their career. He's talking about Genesis and Phil Collins. Oh, so good. Matt says, I want to see Sophia Loren as a seductive murderess. She's old enough to be my grandma and still hot. Robert Bradley, they could do a Michael versus Jason movie and call it Friday the 31st. Yeah, that'd be great. So, did I ever get a reply back from CJ Kidd? I didn't see it in here. Suzette, what's up? Nice to see you in here. Well, if I didn't hear back from CJ Kidd, I will. I'll bookmark that and I'll definitely watch it and review it for you, good sir, because you've been way too kind. I appreciate it. Brock Savage, do you know of a drummer named Brooks Wackerman? He was in Bad Religion, but is now in Avenged Sevenfold. Oh wow, that's a crazy jump. I like Bad Religion, yeah. So now he's in Avenged Sevenfold. Man, I tell you, after the Rev died, Avenged Sevenfold, they just they can't lock down a drummer, you know. Oh yeah, CJ Kidd said, yeah, man, I meant when you have time, but if you want to know, yeah, give it a whirl. Jason versus Michael. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll actually just do a review of it for you, okay? And I'll bump that up. Try to get that out within the next week. Because far too kind of you, good sir. CJ Kidd 1231. I'm going to put this down in my notes right here. So, one, Jason versus Michael. Okay, got it. Sweet. Crown the Empire, thank you. CJ Kidd just posted. Yeah, I just read his reply. So, yeah, I'm gonna review it for him though. Mateo Samuelson, I fucking love you too. Go watch Dawson's Creek. I'm gonna pass on that. You mean H2O? I had to. I'm sorry, Wolfman. Oh, and just because you guys are so awesome, I will tell you that we're almost locked in for Hollowstream Kills. Since I'm about to lock it up here for the night, but Hollowstream Kills, we're all but there. We're gonna try for not this Friday, but next Friday. So in 9 days, we might have the next Hollowstream Kills. So I'm trying to put that together. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna talk Halloween. You know what? And I was thinking too. I'll ask the guys what's their favorite franchise besides Halloween, and I'll probably get a few different answers. So that could be kind of cool. But yeah, that'll be awesome. Michael or Leatherface? Michael's gonna freaking hand Leatherface his ass. Yeah, we watched the movie. Did do a review on Jason versus Michael. I remember that actually. I didn't watch the review, but I remember seeing in my feed that they reviewed it. Michael Myers, do you watch Ghost Adventures? No, I don't think I've ever even heard of Ghost Adventures. So, somebody says, oh, Charles Thompson, have you seen Society? No, I actually have that movie in my stack, my watch stack. Somebody actually sent it to me. I saw an image of that movie where it's like somebody's head is coming out of their butthole. You can't make this shit up. Thomas Woodcock, could you possibly do a list of controversial horror films? That would be a good idea, actually, because there's definitely been some controversial horror films. Would you say that Blair Witch was controversial? I think it was because people thought it was real. So that could definitely be on the list. Ebert, I can't wait for Hollowstream. Me too, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's been too long. Last time we did a Hollow stream was back in October. So it'd be really nice if we get that trailer like next week. That'd be awesome, but I don't know. Did you see the fan film Halloween Inferno, Lee? David Irwin? No, not yet. The guy that actually directed it, he sent me a message, and I told him I'd try to get around to watching it. So I'm definitely interested because he did. There's an Inferno 1 and 2, I think. CJ Kidd, what's the most underrated and most underappreciated Halloween film in your opinion? As time goes, I think the easy answer for that, for me anyway, is Halloween 6. Because there's a lot of people that hate Halloween 6, and I get the reasoning for it, but I think there's a lot of great things in Halloween 6. I love the cinematography in it. I love the Myers in that movie. He's probably one of my favorite Myers. He's so freaking brutal. And it's at the end of the day, it's a scary Halloween movie. So I think that's my answer for that one. And it's cool that it seems like Halloween 5 is starting to like gain more of a cult following now, and I like when movies do that. Even if I don't like the movie, I think it's cool when movies start finding their own cult audiences, and it seems like that's what's happening with part 5. Will A. Jason Rising reaction video. I could look that up and see. Let me see how long is it. Hold on. See, a lot of these fan films are so freaking long. Let's see. Jason Rising. How about this? I'll do a sneak preview. Yeah. What's that? Sneak preview, official trailer. You guys want me to do a reaction to the sneak preview? Oh. I'll close off the night with that. How about that? Hold on. Let me just download it real quick. So this is around like 5 minutes, okay? So we can kind of all just kind of react to that, and I think that could be fun. Does that sound cool with you guys? Let me see. Paul Rudd is all. I like Paul Rudd in Halloween 6, because, yeah, he does go a little bit too far and he goes crazy, but you know what? I'd rather do that than just be boring. Okay, yeah, so Neil Blomkamp fan, he wants me to do it, so we're going to do it. We're all going to do it together. Okay, hold on. Yep, it's already downloaded. Jason Rising sneak preview. Okay, so let me open that up. Let me pull this window over here. There we go. Okay. We're going to do it, guys. Here we go. Red Crow Films.
My dad told me a story once. A story of a vengeful mother and the death of her son, Jason. I didn't believe it at first. But this town has a dark history. Covers it like a thick fog. Some say Jason never died. No one knows for sure.
I think I saw the teaser for this one a while back. Is this where Jason's mom is a zombie?
Friday the 13th, 1984, he returned to Crystal Lake.
What have they done to you, my sweet boy?
Visually, this looks great.
7 people and was fatally wounded by a 12-year-old boy. But that wasn't the end.
Some really nice set design on this. Like, they put the work in for sure.
I really don't like this. This place is creepy.
What are we doing out here, Sheriff?
What needs to be done? This is gonna be a long night.
What needs to be done? What are they, oh, they're gonna pull a Tommy Jarvis and dig a hole. Although Tommy Jarvis like dug him up just to bury him again, or he wanted to check and see if he was still there, if he was dead. Which I never really got the beginning of that, of part 6. Like, that was pretty stupid, but you got to get your movie rolling somehow, right?
Did you just see the look on that Jarvis kid's face?
Yeah, I'd be fucked up too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dead in the bathtub.
Jarvis.
It's gonna be a lifetime of therapy.
Hey, you quit your yapping and you keep digging.
I like this guy.
Should have been a fireman.
You don't kill the boogeyman. Would you call Jason the boogeyman, though? That looks awesome. Like with the fog and everything. I wonder if that was an accident. He
Get in
tripped
there
over.
and lock it up. Lock it up!
Like, this looks as good as a Friday the
Jesus
13th movie.
Christ.
Visually, like, it, you know.
Toss me the lock.
A lot of production value.
Good riddance.
God damn it!
Oh, damn.
He said he was dead! Now, get me out of here! Hurry!
That's awesome.
Go ahead! Go! Hurry!
I don't think a bullet's gonna do it. Damn, that's good. I like that. Support now on Indiegogo. So I wonder if the whole film is, I don't think the whole film is out yet. That looked awesome though, guys. Wow, I want to read your comments. What'd you guys think of that? Watch the first 4 original movies. Let's see. This sounds and looks cool. Yeah, man, it looked great. It's amazing to me the quality in fan films these days. Like, it's intimidating almost. You know, the fact that I was thinking about putting together my own fan film, but I mean, there's a lot to compete with out there these days. It looks really great, actually. And I haven't checked out Friday the 13th Vengeance yet either. That's one that I've heard. Like, there's so many Friday the 13th. Like, people just love making Friday the 13th fan films. Yeah, that looks really good. Let me see if I can find a date for when this is coming out, guys, for you guys. Because that looked really good. Really, really fucking good. Let me see. Hold on. So, March 13th. Sneak preview came out last month. So we watched the movie as live with Halloween effects designer Chris Nelson right now. So how cool is that? So you guys could go over there and check that out after this. Yeah, and then there's a comment from Dave McCoy right there. Excellent mood and atmosphere. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The atmosphere looks amazing in that. So if we go to the Indiegogo, yeah, so I don't think it's come out yet. But damn, that looks good. Red Crow Films is excited to welcome you to the Indiegogo fundraiser campaign, Jason Rising. A film dedicated to Friday the 13th, Jason Rising follows Wessex County police officer Pete Daltrey. You guys pretty much got the synopsis in that anyway. But I'm trying to find like a date when this thing's supposed to come out. So it's co-written by Vincent DeSante. So that's probably a good reason why this looks so amazing. I mean, everything that Vincent puts his name behind ends up being great. So, but I would suspect that this is probably coming out later this year. But it looks really good. Looks really good. So, Will A, let me go back up here and see. Hold on. Oh, hold on. What did I do there? Arturo, what's up, man? How you doing? Awesome. October 31st, 2020, my first episode of Halloween the series will be on YouTube. Nice. Nice, Matt. Get those dreams, man. Get those dreams. The trailer looked visually interesting as well as the visuals in The Grudge 22. Or The Grudge 2020. Yeah, I mean, just that little clip alone was better than the whole Grudge movie. So, I'll give it that. Talk about a wasted effort. The Grudge looked good visually, but oh geez, it was bad. But I mean, the thing about Friday is it's a simple plot. You know, it's always a simple plot, and it seems to work. They should just put like Vincent DeSante and whoever he's working with behind the next actual Friday the 13th movie. I think it'll be great. But I'm looking forward to Never Hike Alone in the Snow. That looks really good. So. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna hang it up for the night. Go check out We Watched a Movie. They're interviewing Chris Nelson. That's freaking awesome. So I had such a blast hanging with you guys tonight. You guys make this easy for me. You know, I'm always like, I hope I can give them 2 hours of good entertainment, but you guys make it easy for me. So I had a blast with hanging with you guys, though. But so stay safe out there, guys. Be careful. I'd say wear a mask if you have to go out and go into a store. That's what I've been doing lately. You know, because sometimes you got to go buy groceries and stuff like that. But yeah, just be safe out there, guys. Favorite superhero teams? CJ Kid, I'll answer that. I mean, it's got to be Avengers, even though I'm like a DC guy because I love superhero. I love Superman and I love Batman. But Justice League, I don't know. The movie was pretty bad. So. Crown the Empire, man. Thanks. I appreciate your support. And I appreciate all you guys watching. Yeah, Jason Rising does have like a Ted White looking Jason. For sure. So anyway, good night, Haley. Dylan's New Nightmare is one of the films I support with Michael. Yeah, that's going to be great, actually. It's a sequel to New Nightmare. So that looks really awesome, too. A lot of great fan films to look forward to. So hopefully we can all get out of this mess and get back to work and, get back to life, right? So anyway, guys, I hope you guys all had a great night. Thank you for stopping by, hanging with me, talking horror, talking superheroes. And